Okay, so this is race 2. Starting first, Ben Rauschartz. In second, Jody Jones, Amy Chung, Michael Baxter, Abby Churchill, Ilya Bondarenko, who will hopefully actually start today. Arono Kazi in the 16. Starts 7th. In the 72, Eric Rodriguez. In the 6, Jeremiah Almighty. In the 22, Dylan Matichuk. In the 70, Lindsay Draper. In the 12, Elizabeth Trang. In the 38, Rakshan Kamran. In the 1, Jolene Butterworth. In the 35, Damir Bejianov. In the 9, Jacob Young. In the 00, Treventan Hessel. In the 28, Emily Churchill. In the 66, Spencer Fullerton. In the 4, Jacob Gunn. In the 90, Matthew Ansley. In the 3, Dalton Nash. Let's get this race started. Okay, so this is a 75-mile, 75-lap race on obviously it's on a 1-mile track. Ilya Bondarenko's car actually started today. That Buick, built by Russians apparently, will be starting in 6th place. Built by Russians. Maybe that's why it didn't start last week. He wouldn't like to hear that. Oh well. So Ben Rauschartz is starting first. The pace car goes off and we're about to get started with race 2 at Ottawa. Getting set for the green flag. There we go, we're started. Ben Rauschartz gets out to a big lead. Amy Chung in second. Abby Churchill in third. Amy Chung Pinkie Pie is in second. Hope you're watching, Ilya. From Russia. Do it. Do it. Arono Kazi is making a pass on both Abby Churchill and Amy Chung for second. Ben Rauschartz has a big lead as they all get stacked up in the big pack. Jeremiah Almighty is going up to second place right now. I'm sorry if I say right now a lot in this video. Although I don't think I say it as much as the real NASCAR commentators who have been counted at doing that sometimes more than 100 times a race. That would be annoying. I think I've heard some of those races, but I didn't really notice it. Rakshan Kamran is Ilya Bondarenko and Spencer Fullerton are in around 6th place. Ben Rauschartz has a big lead. Lindsay Draper's in second. Treventan Hessel in third. Arono Kazi 4th. And Ilya Bondarenko in 5th. Wow. Meanwhile, last week's winner Dylan Matichuk is in the big pack fighting for position right now. Maybe he'll be there at the end, waiting to capture victory. Treventan Hessel is making move into second place right now. Yes. Yes. Arono Kazi is in third place. Treventan Hessel in second. Ben Rauschartz in first. Arono Kazi is now in second, with Ilya Bondarenko is also trying to make a pass. And he is now in third. in that Russian-built 83 car. Kazi is looking to take first away from Ben Rauschartz to be the only the second different leader so far this race. Not nearly as many lead changes as the first race, but hey, what are you going to do? That was Daytona. There's always going to be lead changes there. But anyway, Dalton Nash is up to third in the 3 car. Jacob Young is in 4th, Lindsey Draper 5th, Ilya Bondarenko is in 6th, moving up into 5th now. Jacob Young and Ilya Bondarenko look like they'll be working together for the rest of the race. Abby Churchill is at the very back of the pack right now. Jolene Butterworth is in around there. Amy Chung is at the back of the pack. Jody Jones is around there, and so is Michael Baxter, as Ben Rauschartz is looking to take the lead back from Ronan Kazi, and he will lead that lap and move back into first. Jacob Young is trying to pass for second. Ronan Kazi will keep that for this lap anyway. Ilya Bondarenko is in 4th place, Dalton Nash 5th, and Jacob Gunn in 6th. Sorry if this race's commentary is a little bit more dull than the last race. I originally had guest commentator Jolene Butterworth for this race, but the audio got screwed up. So I'm doing it on my own. A reminder that this race is being sponsored by Greengrass Channel. That's Ilya Bondarenko's channel, and the Black People. Don't know like what country or those black people are from, but apparently, well, Jeremiah, I think, is from Trinidad and Tobago, so probably around there. Please do not post spoilers. Ilya Bondarenko is taking the lead, as Jacob Young is also taking second. As I was saying, please do not post spoilers. That includes you, Dylan Matichuk. Anyway, the reason I don't want you posting spoilers is because they annoy people. Mostly people watch these videos to see if they win. If someone posts that they won, then that just ruins all the reason of watching the race, pretty much. I don't mind if you post about yourself. Like, please do not post spoilers. I don't mind if you post spoilers as long as they're not about the person who won, no matter if that person is you or someone else. Please don't do that. You can, and please don't talk about. Please do not post spoilers on other people's for other people. They might find that irritating, as they watch the race to look down in the YouTube comments and find, oh, I've placed 13th apparently, or something like that. You can post about yourself as long as you don't win. Not following this rule may lead to you being ejected from the league, as Ben Rauschartz is retaking the lead for the 3rd time today, as he has led the most laps so far. Jeremiah Almighty and Ilya Bondarenko, both guys who crashed out of race 1. No, didn't crash out, but got knocked out of race 1, didn't finish, are fighting for second, as Jeremiah Almighty takes that, and is passing Ben Rauschartz for the lead currently. Ilya Bondarenko, Jacob Young, and Matthew Ansley are fighting for third. Behind them, Arono Kazi and Elizabeth Trang are also trying to gain some positions, as Arono Kazi has just passed about 3 people in one turn. Jeremiah Almighty continues to lead, and he has a big lead on Ben Rauschartz. Arono Kazi up in the 3rd place now. Elizabeth Trang trying to follow him. They work together to catch this pack and are working together to get to the front. Continue to get to the front. As Arono Kazi makes Ben Rauschartz go up high on the racetrack, and Elizabeth Trang also goes around going around Ben Rauschartz currently. Jeremiah Almighty continues to lead. Once again, hope you watch this. Arono Kazi is now passing Jeremiah Almighty for the lead. Elizabeth Trang is trying to follow into 2nd place, and they have went all the way from mid-pack all the way to the front, working together. Teamwork even applies in motorsport, as you can see, as they both drive the same cars and are actually teammates. So, technically. As Elizabeth Trang wants to lead a lap, as that will give you 5 bonus points in the championship points system. So that will be very helpful. Also, the leader of the most laps will get another 5 bonus points. Every point counts in this championship, as I've done other leagues by myself in the past. A similar one that was around the same length was decided by only a few positions in the last race of the season, which was ironically held at this track. Elizabeth Trang is being passed by Ben Rauschartz again, as it looks like Elizabeth Trang and Arono Kazi have been separated. So, Elizabeth Trang goes way high on the racetrack. So lose many spots from that interesting altercation. Maybe she was just waiting for going back to see team up with Arono Kazi, as they're side by side right now and trying to get back in line. Interesting. Ben Roche, this is an interesting camera that we have. This might be good for photo finishes, and if we have one, such as last week, that would be useful. As Matthew Ansley is about to get lapped, you'll see him. Just a few seconds, there he is, and here comes the leaders. There they are. Here's another interesting camera. Ben Rauschartz continues to lead, by the way. Once again, you can see all the cardboard cutout people. Actually, they look a little bit better than the Daytona did. Ben Rauschartz leads. There's the big pack. Julian Butterworth is right at the back of the pack right now. But Matthew Ansley is in dead last, almost getting lapped. There's Triffington Hessel at the back, Spencer Fullerton. This might be actually some strategy to avoid wrecks. Demir Bejenov's back there, Emily Churchill, Chung, Jeremiah Almighty's falling back to around mid-pack, as Jacob Young is making a pass on Ben Rauschartz for the lead. Almost halfway. Arono Kazi is into 2nd place now. And how about that? Elizabeth Trang is right behind Arono Kazi. So they seem to be working together once again. They passed Jacob Young. Jacob Young drives the Ford Thunderbird, while Ronald Kazi and Elizabeth Trang drive Chevrolet Camaros, I think, or Pontiac Trans Am. No, Chevrolet Camaros. From the late 70s and early 80s. 2 or 3 laps away from being halfway is Ronald Kazi and Elizabeth Trang are first and second once again, but Ilya Bondarenko wants to change that as he moves into second and splits them apart once again. They're really catching up on Matthew Ansley, as he will get lapped in a few laps probably. It will be very difficult for him to get back on the lead lap if Matthew Ansley does end up falling behind the leaders. Front straightaway, whereas it really isn't even a straightaway at all. It's more, it's slightly turning, it's slightly to the left, turning slightly to the left. So this track is a D-shaped 1 mile oval. As there they go, they're passing Matthew Ansley and putting him a lap down. As Ilya Bondarenko's trying to take this moment to pass for the lead. Elizabeth Trang in third, currently. We are 40 laps into this race, only 35 laps to go, so we're more than halfway through. Ilya Bondarenko goes for the lead. As Jacob Young, and we seem to have a 2-pack sorting out, as there's around 7. The top 6 and the lap car, no, the top 5 in the lap car are in one small pack at the front, and then there's a few seconds back to a larger pack with Ben Rauschers leading, Jacob Young leading that pack. Ilya Bondarenko and Jacob Young were previously working together to pass, but obviously that's not the case anymore. As they are in separate packs. Elizabeth Trang is moving into the lead now. Ilya Bondarenko second, Michael Baxter third. He's reeling them in very quickly. Then we have Jeremiah Almighty back from mid-pack to come back to the lead again, and then Ronald Kazi. And Matthew Ansley the lap down. So there we go. So Elizabeth Trang currently leads as we're past lap 44. She has a big gap on the rest of the leaders. That might not be a good thing, though, as they can reel her in and pass her much easier that way, but she may lead a few laps like that. As Elizabeth Trang and they're in first and second again. As back in the pack we have many cars like Amy Chung, Jacob Young, Draper, Eric Rodriguez, Ben Rauschers, Emily Churchill, Turfin Hessel, Dalton Nash, Rakshan Kamran, Dylan Matichuk, Spencer Fullerton, Jody Jones, and Damir Bezhenov as they got stacked up. Gotta be careful they don't hit one another and spin one another out. Ronald Kazi and Elizabeth Trang are in first and second right now, so their plan seems to be working out very well. Oh, there goes Roanoke. Oh, Elizabeth Trang seems to have a mechanical problem. Man, this is disastrous for Roanoke Kazi, who's relying on her for drafting out. She slows down. Oh man, some cars narrowly avoided her as she. Oh man, looks like she's going to come to a stop on the racetrack. She's only going 45 miles an hour right now. Less. She's almost to a stop. She is stopped on the racetrack. She better get off the track. Here comes Roanoke Kazi, her teammate. Oh! Big crash. Ilya Bondarenko's upside down. Jeremiah Almighty's upside down. Eric Rodriguez is involved. So both teammates got. So isn't that ironic? Roanoke Kazi crashed into his teammate, and they both are probably wrecked and out of the race right now. Michael Baxter leads as he was the first car to avoid that wreck as they come in for pit stops with 25 laps to go now. Jacob Young is already in the pit, so he must have some damage acquired from that wreck. Ben Rauscher says damage. Ilya Bondarenko is very damaged. Michael Baxter is going to be the first out of the pits. As Jody Jones comes in, she makes contact with Amy Chung there. Interesting. Comes out of the pits. Whoops, I said piss again for the second race in a row. Wow. Matthew Ansley, the lap down car, is second out of the pits, but he won't obviously be in second. Ben Rauschurz has damage, so he's at the back of the pack right now. We're under caution right now. From the let's go back and check out another camera angle of what happened. A very caved in rear end for Emily Trang as she just has an engine problem as she's leading. Roanoke Kazi in second, so that could have been a great teammate story, but it just went completely wrong as Elizabeth Trang has a mechanical problem, stops in the middle of the track, and then Roanoke Kazi has no idea what is going on right now. He just thinks that maybe she ran out of gas or something, and then he just slams into the back of her, and then it's just everyone behind them wrecks. As Dalton Nash has damage, and Roanoke Kazi stops, and Jeremiah Almighty and Ilya Bondarenko go upside down. So Jeremiah Almighty was in second place. He slows down because he sees Elizabeth Trang there. He hits the back of Roanoke Kazi. Ilya Bondarenko hits him. Ben Rauschurz gets damaged. Jacob Gunn has some major damage. Jeremiah Almighty gets flipped onto his roof. As then he comes down and hits Ilya Bondarenko, who is sent up on two wheels by Eric Rodriguez hitting him. So that just immediately sent Ilya Bondarenko onto his roof. Smoke pouring from the car. They better be careful and get that part of the track cleaned up, as we may have oil on the track. So we're getting ready to go back to green flag with around 22 laps to go, as we have two lap down cars on the inside. Ignore those. Those are Matthew Ansley and Jacob Young. They are not fighting for the lead, as Jacob Young seems to be very slow on the racetrack right now. He will be no trouble for most of the pack. Matthew Ansley, though, is trying to stay ahead of the pack, as if he can do so when a caution comes out, then he will be back on the lead lap. So, wow, he is really blocking everyone there. There might be a big stack-up effect. Oh man, they're 4 wide for the lead right now. Roshan Cameron is down on the track. He's in the grass. He has no grip on his tires. He comes up the track. There's a huge crash. Jolene Butterworth is in the catch fence. Dylan Matichuk's was upside down. Michael Baxter's upside down. Emily Churchill's involved. Triffin Tan Hessel's involved. Abby Churchill's involved. Wow. Spencer Fullerton's involved. Jacob Young, I think Jacob Young was involved again. As Rakshan Cameron just comes up the track, he has no grip from that wet grass. They run slick tires, so they had no grip whatsoever on that grass. And then it's just a big stack up as Dylan Matichuk goes upside down. Emily Churchill's in the catch fence. Jolene is really high up on the catch fence. Damir Bezhanov is rolled over there. As Dylan Matichuk continues to roll over, so does Michael Baxter. So, Spencer Fullerton came into the pits. I guess he got some damage from that wreck. So, wow. There's going to be a lot of cars out of the race from that wreck.
And then it starts flaming. Yeah.
So, yep. Let's go back and take another look at this crash. Yet another camera angle. We have lots of great camera angles. Helicopter cam. So he just comes right up, back up the track. Doesn't even hit the brakes. And then they all pile in. And it looks like Rakshan Cameron doesn't even go up into the wall. He might actually be able to continue in the race. Ben Rauscher scoots around them. That might have been an interesting view for him and Jody Jones, who in the white and pink car down there. Spencer Fullerton doesn't seem like he has that much damage, but it might be internal. So we go back to the pace car. Let's see how many cars. We have Lindsay Draper is in first place right now. Wow. We only have 10 cars left in the race. So 12 cars went out of the race from those 2 wrecks. We have a very small field left. Jacob Young is the only lap down car left. And then the other 9 are racing. Amy Chung's in second, Dalton Nash third, Rakshan Cameron fourth. Wow, with damage. Man, he must have lots of damage because he's the main cause of the big domino effect. He has major damage on the back of that car. Jacob, as they're about to get the green flag once again, so Jacob Young, the lap down car, comes to the front to take his position. We have 9 cars on that outside. Dalton Nash, Amy Chung, Rakshan Cameron, Ben Rauschertz, Jody Jones, Eric Rodriguez, Matthew Ansley, and Abby Churchill with a lot of damage. Wow. Are the only cars left in the race with around 16. We're going to get the green flag with 16 laps to go. There goes the pace car into pit road. There's the green flag. And Jacob Young immediately gets put to the back as they're already trying to pass each other. They know it's the late stages of the race and that there's less of a chance of a wreck now happening. So they've got to make their moves, start making their moves now if they want to have a chance at the win. Lindsay Draper leads with 15 laps to go as we're 4/5 of the way through the race. Amy Chung is in second, Dalton Nash in third. Jody Jones is in fourth, Ben Rauschertz in fifth, Rakshan Cameron in sixth, Matthew Ansley in seventh, Eric Rodriguez and Draper as Amy Chung is attempting to make a move. Maybe she's waiting for the right time to make that move, but no, Amy Chung is going to be taking the lead. What seems a bit early to starting to make moves like that, but Amy Chung leads currently with 13 laps to go. Dalton Nash is in third in the 3 car, ironically. Joe Jones is in fourth. There's a 7 car roundup for the lead as Jacob Young is very slow on the track. And Abby Churchill and Eric Rodriguez are in 8th and 9th. They're also quite slow, so they may get lapped. So that may cause a wreck or affect the leaders. So watch out for that happening as we have 11 laps to go. Dalton Nash has moved up to second as Lindsay Draper moves back to around 5th place. Roxanne Cameron up to 4th. Jacob Young only going around 139 miles an hour. Much slower than the pack, than the leading pack is Abby Churchill and Ben Rochert is in 7th with damage, although some of that damage was fixed by their pit crew. Lindsay Draper's in 6th, Matthew Ainsley in 5th, Roxanne Cameron in 4th, Dalton Nash in 3rd, Jody Jones in 2nd, and Amy Chung in 1st. So as they come up on Jacob Young, Jody Jones gets hung out, and she loses many positions there as a result of Jacob Young, but Dalton Nash makes a very aggressive move on the inside of that lap car to almost take the lead. He's in 2nd place right now. So Roxanne Cameron's up to 3rd in that very heavily damaged car. Dalton Nash also got a piece of that wreck, and Amy Chung somehow avoided both wrecks. I don't even know how that happened at all. But we have 6 laps to go, and Amy Chung continues to lead. Pinkie Pie might win the 2nd race of the season, so keep your eye out for that. Ilya Bondarenko. Dalton Nash is in 2nd place right now with 5 laps to go. He's waiting to see if he can make a last chance move and steal the victory from Amy Chung. He's also hoping to help Amy Chung and himself scoot away from the field so they can be settled just between the two of them, and not. But the other 4. If the other 3 or 4 continue to race like they are right now, they won't be able to catch up, as they're catching up to the 8th and 9th place cars, Abby Churchill and Eric Rodriguez. They have not been lapped yet. There's 3 laps to go, and Amy Chung and Dalton Nash are in 1st and 2nd, and Dalton Nash is waiting to make his move, although, there goes Dalton Nash to the inside, and he's going to make his move with 2 laps to go just as they come up on the lap cars. Roxanne Cameron is waiting if they crash. If they crash, the winner that makes it back to the finish will lead. So Dalton Nash takes over the lead. Amy Chung gets really held up. But Dalton Nash and Roxanne Cameron also get held up. So there's the 1 lap to go. Dalton Nash is leading. Roxanne Cameron gives him a little bit of a bump there, trying to get him out of the way, but that's not going to work. Dalton Nash continues to lead. Amy Chung's coming up. Jacob Young is going to be lapped again, but he won't play an effect in the finish. Here comes Roxanne Cameron to the finish. It's going to be Dalton Nash winning the race by a few hundredths of a second. Dalton Nash is first. Roxanne Cameron second. Amy Chung third. Matthew Ensign fourth. Lindsay Draper fifth. Ben Roushard sixth. And Jody Jones 7th. Eric Rodriguez beat Abby Churchill for 8th. Abby Churchill got 9th. And Jacob Young got 10th. The last car on the racetrack. So, as you can see, it was a wreck fest. 12 cars went out of the race because of wrecks. And there's 2 cars a lap down, and Jacob Young is 2 laps down, so there's only 7 cars on the lap. Dalton Nash holds that. So Dalton Nash takes over the points lead. Ben Roushard is in second. Amy Chung third. Dylan Madcock's in fourth. The 70 Olympic Ravens fifth. 35 Demir Bigchianoff is sixth. Abby Churchill in the 91 is seventh. Spencer Fullerton in the 66 eighth. In the 90, Matthew Ansley is ninth in point standings, and then number 9, Jacob Young, is 10th. Thank you for watching. Done.